In this video, I'll give you 5 Google Ads optimization tips that are quick and easy for you to implement in order to improve your Google Ads account performance. This first tip is focused on improving your keyword quality scores, and it's a very simple exercise that you can do to give your keywords a nice boost in quality scores. So what you want to do is click into Audiences, Keywords, and Content, click into Search Keywords, and make sure that you have all campaigns selected, and you want to make sure that you have all of the quality score columns appearing here. So you want to be able to see expected CTR, landing page experience, and ad relevance. Now, if you don't see these columns, you can simply head into the columns section, click on modify columns, and then scroll down to the quality score section, and then just make sure you have all 4 of these ticked, and then click apply. Now, your quality score is a very, very important metric. It's comprised of these 3 areas here. So you've got ad relevancy, which is how relevant your ad is to the keyword. Landing page experience is the same. It's how relevant the content on the pages is to your target keyword. And then expected CTR is what Google gives your keyword a score of based on how high the CTR that it expects to be able to get for your keyword. Now, this is based on a number of metrics, which I won't get into. For the purpose of this tip, we're just going to focus on ad relevance. And what you want to do here is click on Ad Filter and just filter it by ad relevance and select below average. So we want to look at the low hanging fruits here, and these ones should be fairly simple to give it a nice boost. And you'll see that the quality scores are fairly low apart from this one here. They're all about a 5 or a 6 or even lower. And basically from this point on, we're looking at keywords that have an ad relevance of below average. And by improving this, we should be able to give it a nice boost in quality score. Now, keep in mind that the quality score is very important because it determines how much you spend and your ad position as well. So improving this will give you a nice boost in performance for that particular keyword. So let's say, for example, we want to improve the ad relevancy of this first keyword here. What you want to do is head over to the left here, click into the ad group, and then just double check that you are just looking at the below average keywords in terms of ad relevance, and make a note of these keywords because this is what we're going to be improving the specific ad for this ad group for. So in this case, it's dog training school, and that's the same keyword just with a different match type. So with that in mind, we'll click into campaigns and then we'll click on ads. And this is pretty simple. What you want to do is click on edit and then improve the ad copy to be more focused around that keyword, and try and improve the instances that that keyword is mentioned if possible. Now, you want to make sure the ad makes sense as well contextually and that it's readable and it's compelling, but just try and include more variants of that keyword and improve the relevancy, and check back in a couple of weeks to see if that ad relevancy score has improved. If it has, then great. You should also see an improvement in quality score. If it hasn't, then you want to repeat this exercise and try and change up the ad copy again and then retest. And hopefully that should give your keyword quality scores a nice boost in the long term. For tip number 2, I'm going to be showing you a really easy way to determine how well your conversion rates are performing across different devices. So you want to be in the Overview tab and just select a campaign for this one. For the date range, I've chosen 30 days, and it's probably best to have a nice big sample size for this. So typically I'd start with 30 days and then you can extend to 60 and then 90, just depending on how far back you want to go. But you want to make sure you have at least 30 days selected, and then scroll down to about the middle of the page here, and you'll see this devices section. Now, this gives you a really good bird's eye view of how well your campaigns are performing across all these metrics here, and you can customize this. So typically what I'll do is I'll change this conversions section to conversion rate. And what this will show you is the different conversion rates across these 3 devices. Now, for this campaign, I have tablets switched off, but we can see here that over the last 30 days, mobile phones have had a conversion rate of about 2% and computers are 5%. So that's more than double the conversion rate on mobiles. So there's a couple of insights here. So using the information you have here, we can see that the desktop landing page is converting significantly better than the mobile page. Now, we may want to have a look from a development perspective and user experience perspective if there's some improvements that we can make there. The other thing you can do is you can also add in bid adjustments for different devices. Now, it just depends on the bid strategy that you're using, because if you are using automated bid strategies, you won't be able to make granular adjustments to the devices. But if you are using manual bidding, then you can make as many bid adjustments as you want for these devices here. So for example, if I wanted to bid higher for computers, because we can see that the conversion rate is higher, so I want to make sure that my ads are in really prominent positions, what I could do is bump up the bids for computers by, say, 10 or 20%, and that will make sure that my bids are competitive for that device. So if you want to do this, all you have to do is head into the Insights and Reports tab, and then click on when and where ads showed, and then you'll see the device menu here. And here you can actually make bid adjustments directly. So as you can see, I've got tablets switched off. Now, this is an automated campaign, so I can only make 100% bid adjustments, which means I can turn on and off these different devices. But hypothetically, if this was a manual CPC campaign, you could make varying levels of bid adjustments depending on the data you've seen. Now, as I mentioned, if we head back into the Overview tab, it's probably better to get a larger sample size before you make any decisions with this device data here. So if I change this to last 60 days, you want to confirm that this trend has been continuing for a long time. So again, we can see computers about 4.76% and mobile phones 1.5%. So there's a big difference here with how well computers are performing versus mobile phones. Now, inherently, conversion rates on desktops for a lot of industries do tend to perform better, but if you do see consistently big differences in between these conversion rates, it is a sign for you to review your landing pages and potentially make some device adjustments if you feel that that's suitable. In tip number 3, I'm going to be talking through how you can get some more insights for your phone calls data. Now, the phone calls column here shows us the total number of phone calls, but it doesn't tell us exactly how many engaged callers there were, and more specifically, which ad groups and keywords triggered these calls, because with that data, we can start to make some really targeted optimizations to our campaign. So what we want to do here is click into Reports, and then click into Ads and Assets, and then Call Details. And I've got the Call Details report open here, and this gives us some really useful insights that we can use to make some strong optimizations to the account. So firstly, what I like to do is filter to the last 30 days, and then I sort the durations column by highest to lowest. And what this will do is show us the most engaged calls at the top. And then the other thing I like to do is add in the search keywords. So if you don't see this column, if you basically just need to expand this tab here, search for search keyword, and then just add this column in. Now, from this data, we can see that all these engaged callers here came from these specific campaigns, and more importantly, these specific keywords. And with this data, we can see that there's certain keywords that are triggering these really high engaged calls, and we can start to make some optimizations to those ad groups to try and enhance the number of phone calls, because we know that these specific keywords are triggering engaged callers. Now, the other thing we can also see is if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, is with low duration calls, we can see which keywords and which campaigns are triggering those, so we can start to bid lower on phone call conversions, and perhaps we try and target form submissions for those campaigns. And this is really useful insights, because we can start to gear our campaigns and ad groups towards conversion actions that are driving engaged calls and are leading to sales rather than just poor quality leads. So hopefully this helps you find some more useful data for your phone call conversions. Tip number 4 is going to be nice and quick, and it's going to address a very common problem I encounter with client accounts, and that is that a lot of people, when they want to preview their ad, they will head into Google search and type in the target keyword and basically view that ad from there. Now, this brings up a lot of different problems. Firstly, it raises your impression count. Obviously, if you click into the ad, it's going to charge you for that click. And all these metrics here potentially may impact your quality score as well, because essentially what you're doing is inflating the impressions. It won't result in a click, and it won't result in a conversion. So it's not ideal from a account management perspective to be doing this, especially if you are doing it at scale. And now I have seen people Google searching the ad every day to see where it ranks and where it's showing on the page. Very bad to do that. So what you want to do here is, there is a tool that you can use from Google's dashboard to preview your ad and diagnose any issues from there. So if you click into tools And then under troubleshooting, there's a tool called Ad Preview and Diagnosis. So click on that. And what you'll see here is a very simple tool that you can use to preview your ad and to see if it's serving at all. So you type in your target keyword here, you choose a target location. Now this is important because you want to select a location that is within your target area. And then you can also choose a device and audiences if you want to experiment with that. And what this will show you here is a breakdown of whether your ad is serving or not at a campaign and ad group level. And it'll also give you a reason as to why it's not serving. So in this example here, the search location actually is not within our target location. So it won't serve that ad in here. Now I could just change that in there. And the most importantly, if you click into the preview tab, it will show you a preview of your specific ad as well as the competitor ads, and you can easily diagnose any issues from there. So for example, if you wanted to check the spelling or if you wanted to check the ad rank, you could do it within this screen here. So very nice and easy tool to use, and it will save you from inflating your metrics. In this last tip, I'm going to be showing you how you can get some really granular and detailed insights for how well your campaigns are performing based on a variety of different segments. So we're going to be staying within the same screen here. You just want to change your date range to 90 days. And then if you click into segment here, there's some really useful data points that you can get, and I'll touch on a couple of these. So the first one is time, so you can see how well your campaigns are performing over a period of time. So you can do it by week, month, quarter, year, and so on. So for example, if I want to see month over month performance, I can see that for this particular campaign, in May we had 2 conversions, June we had 11, July we had 7, August we had 5. So you can kind of see how your conversions are performing over a period of time. And then you can use these insights to make some optimizations to your campaign depending on how well or how poorly they're performing. And this gives you a nice bird's eye overview as to how that sort of performance has gone over time. Now, obviously, you can change this to week over week and change this to a quarter, just depending on how you want to interpret this data. Now, the other one you can look into is click type. And what this will show you is basically where the user clicked from your ad. So whether they clicked on the headline, whether they clicked directly to a call button, one of your site links. Now this is pretty useful because if you find that a lot of your conversions are coming from a site link and a lot of your clicks are going to site links, then potentially it may indicate that your ad group perhaps doesn't have the most targeted ad copy, or it's not going to the correct landing page. So it's something you may want to investigate. In this case, I know that most of the conversions are coming from the headlines, and secondly, I know that the landing page is targeted enough. So it may just be an anomaly, but it does give you an idea of where to look if you are finding that performance is poor across your campaign or ad group. And obviously you can see this across all of your different campaigns as well. Now heading back into segments, if you click into conversions and then conversion action, this is a pretty simple one. It will show you which conversion actions have converted and the aggregate values for each one. So if you are finding that you're getting a lot of form submissions or a lot of calls, you can break it down by campaign and easily be able to see which ones are performing better than others. And again, you can start to optimize your campaigns if you do find gaps in terms of which conversion actions are converting. Now back into segments, if we click into device, this is something we've touched on previously, but again, you can see your device level performance across all the campaigns. Now back in segments, what you can click here is top versus other. So this is pretty interesting data, and it will show you how well your campaigns convert based on where your ads show in the search results page. So for example, here, when our ads show in the top 4 positions, we can see we get 25 conversions and 466 clicks. Now, when they show below the organic results, we have about 55 clicks at a much, much lower CTR and no conversions. Now, this isn't news to anyone that the top performing ads typically are showing in the top 4 positions above the organic results. But sometimes you can find anomalies, and you can find that perhaps your ads are performing better below the organic results, and typically those will be cheaper clicks as well. So it may be an opportunity for you to save money and run a bit more targeted campaigns for the keywords that you want to target. So hopefully these segments are useful. Have a play around with them. There's obviously a couple of other ones there as well, but you'll be able to get some really granular insights, and these will help you to optimize your campaigns further. I hope you found these Google Ads tips to be useful, and hopefully they'll help you optimize your campaigns and drive better results for your business. If you did get any value out of this video, please give it a share so that other businesses can also improve their account performance. And I'll see you in the next video.